Hi, Fashion Dolls. It is Thankful Thursday, March 13th, and welcome to an all new episode of Style by Stevie. Our very special guest today is an actor, model. He is a man who wears so many hats. So, without further ado, please welcome to the dollhouse, James Disco Stokes. All right, let me share this live. It is officially spring, Fashion Dolls, and I had to do something different. Typically, you would see me in a dress, but today I chose to wear pants. I wanted to switch it up. It is springtime. Springtime fashion is all about switching it up and stepping outside of what you would typically do. And yesterday I wore this beautiful blue dress, and today I'm wearing this two-piece that's like a tube top and then some pants. So had to switch it up, and I love the green. I love green. Green is one of my favorite colors for the springtime to rock as well too. So I'm waiting on James so that we can get this interview started, Fashion Dolls. Let me let him know that I just sent him the live and we can get this started. All right. Shout outs to my brother K Tukes, and brother, I just got your text message, so I am texting you back also. If you guys do not know, my mom is having an operation today. Um, as we are currently taping this interview, she is getting the operation and the procedure done. And I'm going to need you to keep my mom and my family uplifted in your prayers. I don't really ask for much, but thank you. Anything would help. Just keep her in your prayers. Keep her uplifted. Keep my family uplifted. She is going to be all right. And I'm so thankful to have you guys for your love, for your support. Thank you all. And I spoke with her earlier. So she'll be home before you know it. And I'm looking forward to helping her recover. As always, because the last time she had an operation, I had to be there and take care of her. But enough about me. I'm waiting on my very special guest, James, to get here so that we can get into today's show. Hi, Nurse Chula. Hi, everybody. Do y'all like today's outfit? It is a two-piece. And as you can see, I'm rocking the midriff out, honey. Yes. So I had to do something different than what I wore yesterday. Yesterday I wore this beautiful long blue sparkly. By the time I took that gown off yesterday, my body was covered with glitter like everywhere. So today I chose to rock a two-piece. I wanted to do something a little different than what I did yesterday. But spring fashion is here. It is time to pop out the color, honey. So I'm waiting on my very special guest, letting him know that I just sent the live. All right. And we're going to get into this interview. Our very special guest attended Hopkinsville High School, and he performed at Alice in Wonderland. And we're going to get into all of that. He also worked with Martin Newser, who was slated to be on the show Monday. But Martin, unfortunately, something came up, but he is going to be rescheduling with me, so I'm looking forward to that as well too. And I have some dope photos that I'm going to post at the end of this interview, so make sure you guys also go and vote for your favorite LOTD, which was only 4 shows this week. So you guys make sure you go and vote for your favorite look of the week. And without further ado, Fashion Dolls, please welcome to the dollhouse, without further ado, James Disco Stokes.
Long time. Oh,
Hello. Hello.
hello. I haven't been called disco in a long time.
Yes, I the honors. The honors.
Thank you so much.
You are so welcome. Welcome to the dollhouse. How has 2025 been for you so far?
So far, it's been amazing. I've had 3 films come out this year already. Since January the 1st, I had one on Prime called The Whisperers. It's out now. People can go and watch it. One on Hulu called The Child of Love. It's with me, Eric Roberts, and a few other people. And it's also in all the airplanes, too, by the way. And then I got another one that we're premiering it right now called The Forest Through the Trees, and I'm the lead in it, one of the leads, and it's doing very well in theaters and everywhere else. So it's doing very well.
All right, y'all heard that. Make sure you guys go and check it out and support. Now, 2025 has been a fabulous year for all of us, getting through, working on our accomplishments, accomplishing so much more. But I like to start at the beginning of your journey.
Okay.
Now, you took drama classes in high school, and the very first play that you participated in, which is one of my favorites that we all know and love, which is Alice in Wonderland.
I did.
And you also did Grease, which is also a classic as well too. So tell
Yes.
us, what was it like in Hopkinsville High School?
Well,
Taking up the arts, yes.
yes. I've always been, I sang in church, and that's where my love for singing took place. And when I got into high school, I didn't know if I could do a drama class because of my sports. I played
Yeah.
football, I played basketball, I played baseball, I played all three sports. And so I didn't know if I really had time to do the drama class, but I went ahead and took the class anyway. And it just, I nourished. I mean, I just flourished in it. You know, I love to sing, and then I learned to do a little bit of dance at the same time. And you know, in the drama class, it led into the little bit of the acting too. You know, so getting to learn to sing and dance and do the acting and all that stuff, it held with me throughout my life.
Yes.
Mhm.
And what I love about you is that you are multifaceted, like my guest I had on yesterday. He acts and he models as well too. It's all about finding that balance.
Yes.
And you were saying about completing the arts. That was going to be my next question for you. What is one thing in your life that you are grateful for and that makes you feel complete throughout your career?
Oh my, never giving up. You know, it's just it's so hard to go years upon years of trying to accomplish something in your life and not give up on that dream. And I never did, even though I had to stop doing it for a little while to get real jobs. You know, like I worked in a factory, I worked with the fire department and did stuff like that. Even though I had to stop for a little bit, I still never gave up that drive to be an actor and to be an entertainer.
Yes, yes, yes. My phone was over here doing a little funky thing. That's why my camera went out.
That's okay.
Yes,
But yeah,
passion.
so
I mean, I'm
yeah,
looking
so
at,
and then modeling, I got into that by accident. I mean, literally. I mean, some people saw me and liked the build that I have, and I've done modeling for different Western wear, different work boots. I did modeling for a Vogue shot before, so yeah, it's been really good, and actually I have been asked to do another Vogue shot here before long in Cincinnati, in Cincinnati. So yeah,
congratulations. And Vogue
thank
is
you.
one of my, I'm a fashion girl, and Vogue is one of
Mhm.
my favorite fashion. I call it the Fashion Bible. It's one of the biggest fashion
I'm not
publications
big
in the
about
world.
getting dressed up, but you know sometimes you have to for certain things. So
Absolutely, especially with us being entertainers. You're entertaining
yes.
people, and the thing is, you have to show up the part. And that was something that Sandy Alisi, who I had on my show
Hmm.
last week, we were talking about how important image was and showing up for the part. No matter what
Sure.
part that you're going for in your career, make sure that you show up for the part. It is very, very critical and important that
Yes.
we do so.
Yes.
And that was going to be another question that I wanted to ask you is how would you define your personal style?
How I would define my personal what?
Personal style. Yes.
Oh, personal style. That's pretty much Western wear everywhere I go. I'm a cowboy pretty much at heart and have been all my life. I've been around farms and animals all my life with horses and cattle and everything else. So my personal style is blue jeans, work boots, or you know my Ariat boots and blue jeans and a t-shirt and a cowboy hat most of the time. Yeah.
Very simple, very relaxed, very laid back, and it's the springtime. And that was
Yeah.
something that I was saying before you came on with everybody, which is you got to switch it up for the springtime. It's all about comfort. And even since the
Sure.
pandemic, we weren't doing a lot of appearances. There wasn't a whole lot going on as
Hmm.
far as film careers and things. And if anything, we're doing it how we're doing this interview currently right now, which
That's
is
exactly right.
virtually. So
Yes.
almost everything for you. That's I want to go back to 2021. What was it like for you? How did you manage as an actor, as a creator, as an artist? Because I know it was
Actually,
difficult for a lot of us.
Actually, it was difficult, but at the same time, I was still working. Right in the middle of the pandemic, I went to Romania and shot a movie over there. Now, that was difficult to get through airports and stuff. I mean, I
Oh
took like 6
yeah,
COVID tests between Nashville and Atlanta and Amsterdam. And just to get into Romania, I had to sign a paper and have their government sign off on it. And when I got there, I had to go straight to set, and I couldn't leave set without being with my producers or anything like that. And I had to sign paperwork to saying that I wouldn't go anywhere because of the pandemic. Then getting back into the United States, I had to take multiple COVID tests just to get into Amsterdam, just to get on a plane to come back to an Atlanta. So, but in the midst of all the COVID stuff, I still was working actually, and worked on several different projects during COVID. Now we had, mandatory mask and all that. The only time we
Oh
could take
yeah,
them off is when we was filming. But yeah, I mean, there was a lot of paperwork involved, and it still is kind of in different SAG sets that you go to. You still have to sign waivers and stuff like that for COVID, and I think that's going to be the case for a long time coming.
absolutely. And
Yeah.
that was going to be another question with these guidelines, even on set.
Mhm.
Um, that brings me to the next part of our conversation, which is uh, what's the most important sacrifice you've ever had to make in your life and in your career, and was it worth it?
Um, Probably leaving my EMS fire department. Leaving that and going out on a limb, going, if I'm going to do this, I need to go all in,
Yeah.
and that's what I did. And so, as far as the sacrifice goes, I mean, you do sacrifice a lot because you're leaving a secure job for a job that is not secure at all.
Oh
So it
yeah.
is like you're trusting that everything is going to fall into place. You're trusting that the good Lord is going to take care of you and showing you the right way to go and stuff like that. And so it's a leap of faith, but at the same time, it's like follow your dreams. This life is very short. This life is what you make of it. And the thing it is, if you don't take chances and you don't leap and you don't go out on a limb sometimes, then you'll always have that question, what if? I don't want to leave this world on a what if. I want to leave this world going, I did everything that I possibly could to better myself, to better my family, and to make the most out of this life.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I love what Nurse Chula just said. God is good. I'm looking at you guys' comments. Let me scroll up and read some of you guys' comments. Nurse Chula also says, congratulations. Sammy underscore the hair slayer says, proud of you, baby. Hi, Madison. All of this. And that brings me to our second part of the conversation as well, too. Are
Okay?
there any life lessons that you wish you had known earlier in your career?
Oh, that's a loaded question because that's a lot. I mean, if I would have known a lot of this stuff back in early in the career, one, I would have started earlier on acting. I would have. I would have took that faith or that leap well earlier in my
Yeah.
career instead of my in mid 40s when I started. And because I'm 53 now, fixing to turn 54 in May. So yeah, I started late when it comes to acting, but I took it so serious, and I do what it takes to become to get that next role. And I'm constantly out there pushing myself and promoting myself and trying to, let the right people see what I do on screen to where I can get that next role. And I have a lot of people that are backing me and that support me and just love everything that I do, and I appreciate that more than you'll ever know. And then there's people out there that there's always somebody out there that doesn't want to see you make
Succeed or do well.
succeed or anything like that. So you know what? You just got to just kind of overlook that and just keep striving and keep pushing, and eventually it's going to all work out for you. Just don't ever give up, and that's what I would tell anybody that wants to get in any career or anything that they want to do. You don't give up no matter what. You don't let someone else define what you do. You define what you do, and then as long as you do that, everything will line up, whether it works out or not.
What's a philosophy that guides your decisions and your actions in your life? What's a one philosophy?
um, Never let someone tell you that you can't do it.
Mm,
I mean, that's the whole thing, because in my life, and I'm sure everybody else out there, they've got people that's going to tell them, you're not good enough, you're never going to do it, you're never going to make it. And a lot of people listen to that and they give up. I'm not going to be I'm not going to be one of those people. I'm going to I'm going to do everything that I can in my power, in the best way that I can do, without hurting anybody or without going through anybody or backstabbing anybody or anything like that. I'm going to do the best that I can to make what I feel is my dreams to come true. Everybody has their own dreams. You I can't control your dreams. You can't control mine. Everybody has their own dreams. You go out and you get those dreams. That nobody can stop you. You're gonna have you're gonna have followers. You're gonna have people that's gonna support you, but you're also gonna have people that's gonna try to knock you down. That's
Absolutely.
just the way it's gonna be. And so far in my life, I've had, to be honest with you, I've had more supporters than I've had people trying to knock me down. And I appreciate, and I know every one of them, and I will never forget any of them. I'm never going to forget.
Absolutely.
I'm never going to forget where I came from. I'm never going to be bigger than I am, ever. I'm not going to do that. And that's what a lot of people in this business sometimes they get. They get bigger than what they are. And you can't do that. You've got to take one day at a time. I put my pants on just like everybody else does. I'm no better, I'm no bigger than anybody out there. I'm just doing what I love. If I can make someone happy, cry, sad, upset, mad because of a film that I did, then I know I'm doing my job. That's what I'm becoming an actor for, is to make sure that everybody is entertained in no matter what I'm doing, whether it's a comedy or a horror film or a drama or action, no matter what, I want to entertain that person. And that's what I try to do.
Oh, absolutely. Now, I love what you just said, which is not giving up. My guest yesterday, Michael Angelo Rodriguez, we were talking about not giving up and, more importantly, keep going forth on all your endeavors. Now, I grew up with four brothers and I have two sisters, and each and every one of us, all of my siblings, we all have our own individual personality, our own individual thing, our own individual passion. My mother and my father raised us both to be independent and go after our heart's endeavors. So my brother chose to go into the military, and I chose to take up cosmetology and focus in the fashion and beauty world. That
Sure.
was my forte. And as it pertains to passion and having that support circle, how important is your upbringing and your support circle to you as you get in this industry, in this business? And how important should it be to other people?
It means everything. And that's the whole thing. My mom, and I'll go back to my mom. My mom supported me in everything that I did.
Oh, yeah.
She wasn't always there. She couldn't always be at different things, but she supported me in everything I did, no matter where. It's just like before she died, I would call her on every road trip that I would take. And I would say, Mom, I'm headed here, I'm doing this. And she would tell me, go live your life, do your thing, be great at it. Let me know when you get home. And I love that. And but my support system, my dad, not so much. My dad had his own thing going and stuff like that. But my dad's been dead for a long time.
Uh,
So, but I
so,
had that support system. My brothers and my sisters, they still support me today, and I appreciate what they do and stuff like that. Don't get to see them very often. Like you said, we all go our different places and do our different things, and that's the way it's supposed to be. Once you're a child, you're a child, but once you're an adult, you move away and you start doing your own thing and having your own families and stuff like that. Family is very important, but it's not the most important. You're gonna do, and when I say that, I mean my family, of course, is the most important thing in my life. But I have my own family now. My mom and dad did their job. They raised me, and they raised me to
yeah.
be a man and to work and to do the things they're supposed to. And now I have a family, and that's what I'm doing. And so each to their own. But this business is a hard business, as you know.
Yes.
Entertainment business is a hard business, no matter what style, whether it be music or movies or whatever you're doing. It's a very hard business, and you got to have a tough skin. And sometimes, you're going to hear more no's than you do yeses, and that's okay. Take that as a learning process. Don't take that as a negative thing, and don't let that let you give up either. Make that as something that's going to push you and make you strive to be even better. And that's what I try to do every day. I go out here, I do handyman stuff on the side sometimes, and help people. And when I'm doing that, I don't care whether it's building a deck or whether it's putting in a water heater or whatever. I'm going to do it to the best of my ability to make those people happy. And that's what it is. That's what you do. Dealing with horses and stuff every day. You watch an animal. An animal can teach a human more things than
Oh yeah.
any other person in the world. Animals are amazing, and so you just got to open your heart and love people, love one another. It's just like me and you. Two different lifestyles, but we come together as one person, and we become friends, and we love each other, and that's what you got to do.
Absolutely. And that was going to be my next question for you. What is some of the wisest advice that was given to you that you followed and never regretted from your mom, or it could be from your dad?
Well, I had a football coach. My mom and dad always, just supported me. As far as giving me advice and stuff, I was like any other kid. You didn't want to hear it from your mom and dad. I had a football coach though that that pulled me to the side one day. Had a bad day at practice, and he pulled me to the side and he told me, he said, "James, every day you're going to run into something that's going to bring you down.
Oh yeah.
You're either going to let it beat you down. You're going to either let it define you, or you're going to define it. So you make sure that you take that whatever puts you down and make it better the next time." And that's what I've done throughout my life. I don't do everything right. I don't expect to do everything right, but I do expect to make it right if I do it wrong. And I want people to understand that you if you're not failing, you're not trying. And that's the whole thing. If you're not failing, you're not trying. And people don't understand that. People think, "Oh, I fail all the time." It just, yeah. Then you're trying. Keep going. Eventually, it's going to be right. Eventually, you're going to get it right. So just keep that in mind. That if you're not failing, you're not trying, because everybody's going to fail.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And speaking of mom, you guys know that March is International Women's History Month, celebrating us, our accomplishments to the world. How important are the women in your life? And if you could give five adjectives, what five adjectives would you give to describe women? What would you say? What are five adjectives that you would say to the women in your family and to the women of the world?
Wow. First one being strong. Um, women are strong. I mean, you got to be strong now, especially nowadays. Strong, independent, funny, brave, and resilient. And because women are resilient in many ways because of, good Lord, the struggles that they have to go through every day. I mean, it's hard. I'm not a woman. I'm not even going to act like I pretend to know what a woman goes through in a daily basis and anything like that. But I've been around women. I've been around my girl, my mother, my
Mm,
sisters. I've seen the struggles that they go to. I've seen things that weigh them down and that hurts them, and that just can. But I've also seen things that they come through, and it's like, how the hell did you make it through that? It's called resilience. It's called bravery. It's called being strong. It's having a big heart. It's called having just a strong mind, and just the ability not to quit, the ability not to give up. And I tell you that women, all of them are like that. And some of them don't know it. Some of them don't know it yet, but they will. And it just, like the old saying goes, if it don't kill you, it makes you stronger. And that's very true in a lot of statements. Being in the EMS world for so long, I've I've seen that happen many times. So.
and it's I love what you said, number five, our strength, our resilience, because we always bounce right back. And I told Michael this yesterday because I had him do the same thing uh also as well too. He said it was your independence, your courageousness. And my mother's a Libra. I'm a Scorpio. So I get the feistiness and the fieriness
Sure.
and the passion from her. And then I guess I get my knowledge also from her as well too, as well as my grandmother. It's like
Sure.
I'm surrounded by all of these amazing women, my mom's sisters, my two sisters, my cousins as well too. We all are outspoken. We're all fun. We're all bubbly. We're all outgoing. And I think I must say that I get my bravery from my father, being able to stand up because my father served in the Marines.
Hmm.
So I think I get that bravery from him as well too. So the heart of a woman, our resilience, the able to be able to nurture and give back to the world, open our heart and be vulnerable and be emotional.
That's right.
That's the heart of a woman. That is the strength of a woman, and that's what keeps us going, and that's what keeps me going. So, the days when I'm my most vulnerable and not always like this warrior type, but it's always been in us as women because we're experiencing so much in the world going on, especially in this climate where we've always had to put up a guard and just fight.
Hmm.
But there are times when I want to be vulnerable. There are times when I want to be emotional. And as women, we want those things. So
Sure.
to the guys, it's no shade. But sometimes when we're snappy, it's because something is bothering us. But we're also in a mood where we want to be vulnerable. We want to be able to take it all in. We want to be emotional. We want to be held. And men understand that. And it's important in this climate that we open our worlds and our hearts even more to every woman on Women's History Month. So that's why I had James do this assignment. My lineup this month is all men. I wanted all women for the lineup, but I'm like, I've got girlfriends that are actresses, they're booked, they're busy, but I said I wanted to shake it up and do something different because I know that the men in our lives appreciate us and vice versa
Absolutely.
all year around. Our mothers are the most important thing to us. And I talk about my mom a lot as well, too, on the platform here and how much of an influence she's been for me because our mothers make the most sacrifices for us. And that goes back to what you just said, James, which is I had to make a sacrifice when I was on that set, during the pandemic. We had to do guidelines, distancing, and everything. So throughout your career, throughout your life, to any parent, mother or father, you're having to make sacrifices. And these things are key and crucial as well too. Now, that brings me to the next topic of our conversation. You could change one thing about your past. If you could go back in time and change one thing about your past, what would you change?
Mm. Um, you know what? Not a whole lot, to be honest.
Mm,
I'm not going to hold regrets. What the stuff that I did defines me as a man today. Even through high school, and I go to schools now and I talk to middle school kids about bullying and about making the right choices because going in from middle school to high school, you're choosing the friends that you're going to hang around. And to be honest with you, looking back at my life, I don't think I would change anything. The jobs that I've had, I've excelled in them, and I've gone as far as I possibly could in them to the point to where when I left that job, I was going to something else that I really wanted to do, and acting is my last thing that I didn't really think that I would be an actor. That's not what I set out my ultimate goal to be. And then when I got in front of the camera and was doing things for a couple of independent films that I did, and finally figured out that this is what makes me happy, and I jumped in both feet, and just went at it. And looking back, everything that I did in my life has led me to where I'm at today. And I don't regret one thing. So to be honest with you, I'm not going to go back and say I would change something because where I am today is where I should be and this is where I'm supposed to be. And so I'm pretty happy with everything the way things turned out. So no, I wouldn't change anything. And I
mm.
appreciate that question, but I don't have a that's the only answer I could give is I wouldn't change anything.
And I'm gonna add on to that. We should live life without regrets, without a care in the
Yep.
world. If you're going again, like I said, to follow your heart's dreams or desires of becoming a doctor or becoming a dentist or whatever career field that you
That's
choose, you
right.
go after it and you
Absolutely.
have no regrets. And our parents encourage us to. Now, as it pertains to being in the entertainment side, our parents have their reservations. Like, you want to
Sure.
be a what now?
Yeah.
No, I want you to be I want you to be a lawyer. I want you to be a
Yeah.
doctor. So our parents' only concern is because tomorrow's not always promised in this business. And
No,
we
it's not.
always see these shows like Watch What Happens Now, because it's here one day you're at a high in your career, and then it's just like it takes that trickle back down to any actor, to any artist out here. It's not always promised. So our parents' concern is make sure that you have a backup plan. And that was the same. My mother
Mm-hmm.
would always say, okay, no, you're going to do this. I want you to do this. And my father was the same way. So he went in the Marines. My mother, she worked as a cashier. And that right there kind of molded me as far as my mindset and structure, knowing that you have to start somewhere. Which brings me, we're talking about structure. If your inner self were a landscape, because you also have a side hustle as well too, and it's important that we in this business have a side hustle. If your inner self were a landscape, how would you describe it?
Complex.
Mm,
Many multiple layers. That's the whole thing. And you as a person, and everybody has multiple layers. Maybe some people don't show it, but everybody has multiple layers to them. And some layers are more brilliant and bright and vivid, and some layers are some more dull and laid back and stuff like that. But we all have multiple layers. So as a landscaper, I would have multiple trees and bushes and stuff, but they're all going to be different colors and they're all going to be in different shapes and sizes, and you never know what you're going to get around the next corner, because that's what makes life exciting as well. You don't just make don't make it just a dull landscape. Make it in multiple layers. Make it have trees, make it have bushes, make it have fruits, vegetables, whatever you want. Just make it and make it yourself. Make your landscape you. What you want to be. And so yeah, that's what I would say.
you are the masterpiece. You are the art. So whatever seeds that you plant into that garden, Janet Jackson,
That's
and I'm
right.
a big Janet fan. I'm a big Janet fan, and I'm a big
Mm-hmm.
Beyonce fan. But
Yep.
Janet Jackson said something on one of her albums, Velvet Rope,
Mm-hmm.
and she was saying that we must water our spiritual gardens. So whatever seed that you plant in that spiritual garden, you go
Mm-hmm.
out there and you water it, and you nurture it
Yep.
each and every day as it grows. As we watch trees grow
Mm-hmm.
and blossom, we want our careers to flourish and do that as
Sure.
well too. And that brings me, speaking of things, what are things that bring you a profound and pure sense of joy that help you sleep, knowing that, okay, I've accomplished this? Because we all have goals and things that we want to work on. So,
Well,
what is something that has brought you a sense of profound joy that has felt so pure to you?
well, first and foremost, people that know me, they know that I love to work out. I work out 6 days a week. My body, your body's your temple, and it is what you put in it, So if you put bad stuff in it, your body's not going to do what you want. So I try to take care of myself and to make myself look as and feel as good as I possibly can. That's the number one thing. Don't again, it's just about no regrets. You live each day to the fullest and make it your own, and that's what I try to do.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it goes back into pouring into yourself. That brings me to the next part of our conversations. I've been doing portions in each chapter of everyone's story. Self care. How important is self care as an actor in this business? Because you are a man who wears so many hats. You are an
Mhm.
artist, you are a musician, you're a businessman, you're a dad, you are a husband. You have all of these titles. How important is it that we pour into ourselves? Because the expression goes, you can't pour from an empty cup. And I tell people this all the time.
That's
So, how important is it that we pour back into
it's just like
ourselves in self care?
an EMS. You can't help someone else if you get hurt. So you gotta take care of yourself before you take care of anybody else. It's just like trying to think of something good. a good way to put it. Yeah, personal health in this line of work and everything else, it means everything. You know, if you don't keep your body up and if you don't keep in good shape and everything like that, if you go out and, you know, alcohol for one, alcohol is probably the most people want to go out, and if you're going to drink every day and stuff like that, you know, you're not going to be at your best every day. You're
No,
just not going to do it. I'm not saying don't go drink and have fun. I'm not saying that at all. I'm not no stiff and like that, but at the
no.
same time, take care of your body. You know, don't put so much into your body that you can't take out, or you know, whatever, and give back. That's the reason I go to the gym. You know, and some days I don't want to go to the gym 6 days a week. Sometimes I'm tired, sometimes I'm wore out, but I make myself go because I still feel like that I'm doing myself a disservice if I don't do that. So I'm letting myself down. I'm not letting anybody else down. You know, nobody else cares whether or not I go to the gym or not, or whether I'm taking care of my body. That's up to you. That's up to me to do that. You know, so I'm letting myself down. And to be honest with you, I've let myself down enough. You know, I don't want to do it no more. And I'm tired of doing that. And I just want to do the best I can for myself and for my family and everybody else.
Absolutely. And what James is not saying, to add on to what James just said about, not going out and having fun, do it in moderation.
Sure.
Now, I'm guilty. I made my eyes that wide, James, because you said I don't eat things that I'm not supposed to eat. I'm in South Carolina. I'm a Southern girl. So have, I'm not a good example of but I mean, I look amazing in my dresses and my outfits when I put them on. But I'm not a good role model. I'm not, as far as food, I'm a foodie. I love food. But the thing is, do it in moderation.
Yes.
Do it in moderation.
Right. I mean,
We're
I
not
would tell
telling
you
you
pretty
don't
much.
have fun, because life is so short. And we've seen it cut in an instant. In an instant.
It's only takes a split second to your life to be gone, and it's scary. And but at the same time, you want to get out and you want to live your life and have fun and do the things that you need to do and want to do. I'm fully 100% for that. People need to get out and live their life and have fun. The life, like you said, we can be a broken record. Life is too short. Get out and have fun. Do what makes you happy.
And tomorrow isn't promised to anybody. Like,
No,
we've
no,
lost so
yeah,
many people this year in
yes,
2025. One of my favorite singers was Angie Stone, and another one of my favorite actresses. And I'm pretty sure you know the show. Your mom or your sisters probably watched the show, The Golden Girls.
oh,
I'm a big Betty
yes,
White fan. I am a big
yes.
Betty White fan. And when I found out that she passed, it did something to me.
Hmm.
Finding out that someone that I looked up to and watched on TV, even though I was still a baby when she would have been out, it it did something to me, because this is
Yes,
somebody who I've idolized growing
absolutely.
up, who I've watched. Just her spirit. Life can be taken in an instant at any age, because tomorrow is not
That's
promised.
exactly right.
And that is why it is imperative that we give people their flowers, while they are here currently now. Now, what do you believe is the key to a fulfilling and meaningful life to the fullest?
You as a person being happy with the choices that you make. You know, that's the whole thing. Don't go into something regretting your choice, or questioning your own heart and mind. Go into it fully, and just don't regret anything that you do. Don't go out there to hurt someone. Don't go out there to push over someone or nothing like that. But at the same time, go into it knowing that that's what you want to do. This is what I want. So don't regret anything like that. That's the biggest thing. People do that all the time. You know, they won't do something because they're afraid they're going to fail. It's okay to fail, and people's got to learn that. It's okay to fail. Just get back up. It doesn't matter how many times you get knocked down. It's about how many times you get back up. That's what it's all about. So yeah, that's my biggest thing, and that's like going into these schools and telling these kids, look, choose the right path. You got two
Yeah.
choices. You're either going to go this way, you're going to go that way. Choose the people that's going to take you to the places you want to be. Sometimes you're going to be alone, and you know what? That's okay to be alone. You can be as strong as you want to be all by yourself. You don't need anybody to lead you down any road. You take that road that you know that's going to make you the happiest and fulfill every dream that you have in your mind. Kids especially, you can choose the wrong path. They're going to take you down the wrong path. They're going to do things that you know is not right. Don't go that way. Go the way that you know that's going to be right and it's going to be good for you. And that's what I try to tell these kids. And I want them to, because I did the same thing. I had to make a choice. I could have went down the wrong road and I didn't. And I'm not bragging. Well, I am bragging about that because I did choose the right way and I did do the right things because I wanted to play football. I wanted to play basketball. I wanted to sing and dance and do all that stuff. And I did that stuff because it's what made me happy at the time. So that's the whole thing.
And I love what you said about the children as well too, about
Mhm.
having that peer pressure, having those influence around you. I want to give a shout out to my colleague Bubs the God in the comments. Make sure you guys please go and subscribe to his channel. When I tell you, we talk about having that pillar, that village around you, James, about people who support you. You said your mother and your sisters. Bubs is one of those people for me. My mother is one of those people.
Sure.
My grandmother, my brother K Tukes is in here as well
Hmm.
too. So they've Pure Lux Salon, who's always showing me so much love. Y'all show me mad love and support, and it's important that we keep these people in your corner. Now, as it pertains to, I'm gonna go back to what James just said about the children and having an influence on them as well too, because we live in a day and age where everything is catch up in an instant, and it's one shot, one take. That's it, and we see it. We live in a day and age where it is about perfection and making sure that everything is beautiful, everything is flawless, shall I say. Not everything is going to be perfection or flawless at first.
That's
And I said
exactly
this
right.
yesterday. This was one of my final thoughts that I said. You're going to have to go through the ugly to get to the beautiful. It's not going to
Always.
be a pretty process, but you're going to have to walk through that ugly to get to that beautiful.
That's
And I must say, for me, as to coming into my own with confidence and avoiding peer pressure, it's important that we stay grounded and we stay grounded with like-minded people who can keep us on that, what we like to call, everybody's doing it now and saying it now, accountability partners.
hmm
It's important that we have those type of people in our lives as well.
hmm That's exactly right.
And we keep flourishing and we keep growing. So absolutely. Hi Chrissy. Welcome, my love. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Now we're gonna switch gears here. Now you've done one of my favorite crime shows, and I binge watched this. It used to come on Oxygen. And a lot of people would be home watching these shows. Snapped. You did Snapped
I did.
for you, and I wanted to ask you this: what was it like doing Snap? Because these type of shows like Snapped, Unsolved Mysteries, these are based on actual
They,
crimes that happened. And
they
I
actually
asked
were. Yes.
Michael the same
Um,
question as well too.
mhm.
Um, for you, have you ever had a moment as an actor where it's just like an out of body experience for you to the point where it's just like, okay, I'm no longer this person that I'm portraying who committed this crime. I'm James. Because sometimes
100%.
you have to
Yeah.
separate the character
Oh
you're
yeah.
playing away from.
No.
Yeah.
There's times where you get so deep in your character that you kind of have to snap out of it. Yes, there's been times where, yeah, I have had episodes like that to where it's like, this is not real. This is not real. This is acting. But like those true crime shows, we got to see the actual true crime photos of the scenes and stuff, and because they wanted it as true as possible. And so what they do is, they show us the real actual crime scene photos, and we go and reenact that. And sometimes it's pretty rough what you see and stuff like that. They don't show you everything, but they show you enough, and it's quite, it's pretty brutal sometimes. And me being an EMS worker for 16 years, I got to see a lot of that stuff firsthand, and a lot of it stays up in here and it messes with you. And I can become, I mean, it's a very emotional journey that I've been on. PTSD is a real thing when it comes to this stuff, and nightmares and stuff like that, and you just can't get it out of your head. And so I'm not going to lie, I'm glad that I'm not in it anymore. To be honest with you, it's just I've seen enough death in my lifetime for 100 people. To be honest with you, and it's just it's rough. And sometimes you know, even on a set, you know, playing a different character, I'll go back to some of those scenes to get into character, or to, you know, I may have to cry, or I may have to, you know, be angry or whatever else. And so sometimes you have to take yourself into a very deep spot in a place you probably don't want to go sometimes. And sometimes it's hard to get out of. And sometimes I need to talk to someone. And I do have a very good special um, friendship with people in my group that I can call, and that's always going to be there for me. And having someone in your life like I do, that I'm always able to talk to and stuff, and she can talk me down and stuff like that, and knows how to take care of me and stuff like that. It's very heartwarming, and knowing that I've got someone like that that's going to be there for me and stuff like that. So it's just it helps.
Absolutely. Now, speaking of escape and getting away,
Hmm.
you have rolled with the Pro Rodeo Association for 3 years.
I did.
So that side escape, what is it like being able to ride with the Pro Rodeo Association?
It was very. Once I started it, I didn't know what I was really getting into. You know, riding the back of a bull or a horse. It was at that point in time in my life, I was still a teenager. You know, I was 19 and stuff. And now, you know, uh, 10 foot tall and bulletproof. You know, wasn't nothing going to hurt me. You know, and you know, getting on the back of a bull was nothing for me. You know, I'd get up there, 2,000 pound bull throwing you around. You get slung
Oh yeah.
off. You get, you know, hurt your shoulder, you hurt your arm. You know, whatever else. You know, you just get right back up and you do it again. But nowadays, yeah, I'm not getting on the back of a bull anymore. I'm 53. I'm not stupid, but yeah, riding the rodeo was fun. It was hard as well. I mean, you pretty much was out on the road, you and 4 or 5 other cowboys,
Oh
going
yeah.
from one town to the next, hitting every rodeo up the East Coast. Because I rode the International Pro Rodeo Association, which up the East Coast from like Florida to South Carolina, Maine, New York, you know, and stuff like that. And we did all of those shows, and I got to see and ride with some really good cowboys, and I got to win a few things, and but most of the time you get thrown off, and you know, you just go to the next one, you dust yourself off and go to the next one. But riding pro rodeo was fun, and it was exhilarating, I guess you would say. And it's just, you're just a thrill seeker, you know, kind of like the Jackass movies. You go out there and you do some stupid stuff, and well, that's pretty much what you're doing on the back of a bull. You're taking a chance every time you got on the back of one. So
And they're wild. Like, I mean,
they're trying
everywhere they're
they're
wild. If
trying
you
to kill you.
see,
They're trying
yes.
to kill you. They do not want you on the back of them. They are trying to literally throw you off and kill you, and they will come back at you and try to kill you. I mean, that's
Oh
just
yeah.
what they do. But it
And
was
they'll go
that's
towards
the whole
that
point
gate.
of the. And I'm gonna be honest. I busted my whole face. I lost my front teeth. I broke
Ooh.
my nose. I broke my sinus cavities. You know, I've had the accidents. You know, the bad ones and the good ones too. So it's just part of it.
And that was gonna be my next question for you. Any injuries while doing this? Because
Yes.
riding
I've,
these bulls, because these
yeah, I've had
bulls are
dislocated
very
fingers,
fast.
my elbows. You know, I've had, like I said, I broke my entire face. I broke my nose, my sinus cavity. I broke my jaw. Knocked out these teeth. So yeah, I've had my injuries doing it. Yep. You just get
And
right
I'm
back
looking at the
up, and get back on.
I I love what you just said, though. Even though this is dangerous, there's a message in what you just said. And that is, even though I fell, I got back up and I went again. And in life, we have to take those kind of steps. And it goes back to what you just said today, which is giving up. And I know a lot of us, we feel defeated. We feel like, oh my God, this job is wearing me out. All of these things are wearing me out. The bills, the children, get the children, sit to school, all of these things. So all of us as grown folks, these are what we call grown folks issues, adult issues. And it comes with life in the territory. And you dust yourself up, you regroup, And it goes back to that key word that James used to describe us, describe women, to describe us, which is that resilience. All of us have resilience because regardless of the obstacles that we go through, we always find a way to come back and reinvent ourselves.
That's exactly
So
right.
I'm going to read some of you guys' comments. Doomsday_Crip says, gotta give James big props. His acting chops have grown to short in short time I've known him.
I appreciate that, and he that's awesome. And I love Doomsday Crypt. I've been around for a while with him. Me and him's gotten to do a lot of stuff together, and love that guy. He's helped me out in many ways. He's supported me. He supported me from day one. He's believed in me. He's one of the first guys that ever believed in me and stuff like that. And I really appreciate that, and love that guy so much. So I appreciate that. I appreciate those words.
Yes, yes, yes. And speaking of Doomsday and Crips, now you took on the role as Jason
I
Voorhees.
did.
And Voorhees, Night of the Beast. I've seen the photos of you dressed as his character. This is a horror film. So it's a little bit more different than doing Snapped. Now, was this in your element doing horror or
Oh,
action?
absolutely. Yeah, I grew up with horror. I loved horror. You know, I'm a big guy anyway, so getting to play that part was perfect. When the director asked me to play it, it was a hands down, absolutely. You know, getting to play an iconic character as
Oh, yeah.
Jason Voorhees, it's it was absolutely insane. And getting to go to all these conventions, and that's me, me and John where we met on Doomsday Crypt. There, we was at Scarefest together 2 years ago. That's almost 3 years ago now, I guess. And I got to sit at his table and get to see the things that he does. Man, is absolutely amazing. And getting to sign autographs and meet all the fans and stuff of Jason Voorhees. It's and they embraced me. You know, even though this was yes, yes, Friday 13th is iconic.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely, it's 100% it's iconic. And getting to be at the same conventions as other ones like Kane Hodder and C.J. Graham and Derek Mears and all these guys that's played this part as well. You know, it's absolutely phenomenal. And the what am I trying to say? When I get to go to these conventions and all these people come to my table and want to meet me and stuff like that, it's absolutely just, oh my God, it's heartwarming. It's like humbling. It's very humbling to me. It's like, wow, you know, I just got to play this character. You know, I was lucky one to get to put the mask on and all that, and it's just been so great, you know, being able to do this. And yeah, I did crush it at Scarefest. We both did, and it was great, and got to meet a lot of people and stuff, and it was absolutely phenomenal. So,
Now, speaking of crushing, has family seen the film? And what has family's reaction been to the film?
oh yeah, my family. Oh yeah, yeah. Most of them have seen it. Yeah, most of them have seen it. They loved it. You know, they absolutely I've had people. The biggest compliment that I've ever gotten was, you know, someone told me that I look like Kane Hodder and to me, Kane Hodder is the number one Jason. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
he's played it 4 times. He's phenomenal. And nothing against CJ, nothing against any of the other ones because they're all the Friday 13th out there are great. But our film was a fan film that trying to keep the character alive, and I think we've done that. I think that people that have seen our film really appreciate that what we've done because we went back to old school Crystal Lake, you know, killing people. That's what Jason does. He kills everyone. It was just phenomenal, and it's great to get to play that iconic character like that. So yeah, no, it's absolutely been phenomenal for me to get to play that part, and people embracing me as Jason. That's what really sets it apart. You know, it makes me feel really good. It makes me feel like I did the part justice, and I did it to the fans because fans, let me tell you, fans can be very very big critics. You know, if they see something that ain't right or something like that, they'll let you know about it. And I didn't get that. I got everything that we did was absolutely phenomenal, and people loved it.
And That's amazing because, as you just said, fans can be the critics. Us, the
Woo.
viewers, the consumers, are going to always be the one to point it out
Yes.
and make sure that it's all perfect now because Jason is an iconic character in horror film
Yeah.
fiction. Not just Jason, but Freddy Krueger, Pinhead, Hellraiser,
Michael
all of these
Myers.
different.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, all of them. Now, for you, what if you had to do a Mount Rushmore for your top five favorite horror film characters?
Oh.
Who would be at the top of your
Oh,
Mount
well,
Rushmore?
it's going to be Jason. It's going to be Michael. It's going to be Freddy. It's going to be Ghostface because I love Ghostface. And
I love Scream.
yeah, and the fifth one, wow, probably Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I love that whole thing, and plus I've gotten to know some of the characters in Texas. John Dugan, he played the grandfather in all the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies. Love that guy. He lives here in Nashville. We met and we've actually worked on a couple of films together. He is great. I've worked with all the people from the Texas Chainsaw. I mean, the Nightmare on Elm Street, Lisa Wilcox, Danny Hassel, Mark Patton. I've gotten to work with all of these guys, and it's just it's been phenomenal. The people that I've gotten to meet Robert England. A lot of people don't get to meet this guy, and he's absolutely great. Having dinner with Kane Hodder and doing all that stuff at Scarefest and doing things with these people, it's absolutely just it brings the inner kid out in me. It's just I'm in awe. As being an actor too, I'm in awe of these guys and these people, and they're just everyday people just like we are. They just love playing the character just like I did. It's great.
And that's what it's about. And Misty says that you would make a great Leatherface and Michael Myers.
Oh, if I ever got the chance to play either one of those characters, absolutely. I'm 6'2", I weigh about 235. I'm a big guy. I love it. I would love to play any of those characters, and I would not turn it down for nothing.
Mm,
Robert,
mm, mm, mm.
Robert's a great guy to meet. If you ever get a chance to meet Robert or Kane or CJ or any of those guys, or cannot think of his name now, the guy that played Leatherface. I was with him um, last year. I was with him at MediaCon. Not MediaCon. I was at Vet City Con, and he was there, and got to meet him. Great people, man, great people. And it's just they love horror, they love making people scared, they love making, and it's just that's just the whole thing. Is it's and getting to meet the fans, again, that is the number one thing for me. I love anytime I go out to eat, anytime I go anywhere and someone notices me or asks me about it. It's the greatest feeling in the world, and I love interacting with the fans. That's the greatest thing ever. I will never, ever, ever turn down meeting a fan and hugging their neck or taking a picture or giving a picture or whatever else. Especially kids. God, I love kids. I'm a sucker for kids. That's what I am. So,
And the excitement of these fans and children getting ready to meet their
oh
favorite character in the
yeah,
film. The excitement at these conventions. What does it do for you to see
oh
the
it
excitement?
it every convention I go to, I'm crying at some point. Some kid comes up and just heart. They'll draw a Jason face, or they'll draw me, or whatever, or they'll come up with a letter or something and give it to me, and it just you know I can bring up this one kid that just I was at Denver. I was at the horror convention in Denver, and a Make a Wish kid came up to wanted to meet Jason, and it just broke my heart. Seeing this kid and not knowing what was going to happen to him, and getting to hug his neck and getting to take pictures with him and all that stuff, and getting to meet his family and stuff like that, and the smile that was on his face, it just is so heartwarming. And I'm a sucker for kids anyway, and to be there, it's just stuff like that. That's what it kills me. It warms my heart and makes me so happy to see these people so happy and excited and all that stuff. And I will never, ever, ever not take a picture with someone. I don't care if they have money or not. It ain't about the money anymore. It's about making people happy.
Absolutely. And making their dreams come true, because the key
Absolutely.
thing is make a wish. These children get to meet
Hmm.
their idol. They get to meet the person that they look up to in
it,
life.
it's phenomenal. It's still so humbling to me to be able to write my name down on a picture of me as Jason and give it to someone, and they cherish it and they take pictures and put it on their wall and stuff like that. That makes me just so humbled. I mean, it's just I never ever will. I want everyone to know this. I will never take being an actor or being in this spotlight for granted, for nothing, because if it wasn't for the fans out there, I wouldn't be where I'm at today, and I love it. And it just makes me so happy inside.
Yes, 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 yes. And projects. You've got at least 14 different projects that are coming out, some that are in productions. You have
Mhm.
quite a bit that are coming out.
I do.
So, as we come to the close, but before we get to the close, I'm going to do my turn the tables. So, James gets to ask me some questions, and we're going to take some audience questions. But you have 14 different projects coming out. What is next in the chapter for James
Uh,
Stokes?
I've got several conventions coming up over across the United States, in Pennsylvania, in Kentucky, different places. I think I'm going to Atlanta. I've been auditioning. I've auditioned for several different films and stuff like that. So I've got a lot of things that are in the works, and I've got a lot of things that are coming up. I've got a few things that I can't really say anything about yet because they haven't been announced, so I just can't really say anything about them yet. Yeah, I've got a lot of things coming out, and I do have a couple more films that I'm hoping at least one more comes out this year. It'll be my fourth one this year already, and it's only March, so I'm being very blessed with this. My films are now starting to come out, and they're starting to come out on good platforms like Prime, Amazon, Netflix, Hulu, and stuff like that. So people are going to be able to see many things. Everybody can go check out my IMDb page. That's where everything is on. That they can see everything that I've got coming up in production and that's already been released. And so yeah, so it's just under James Stokes and imdb.com, and that's where they can see everything that I've got coming out. But I've got a lot of things coming out, plus a lot of conventions that I'm going to as well. And I'll be putting all of that on my Facebook and Instagram page once they are fully contract signs and all that stuff, that I'm ready to go and all that stuff. So
All right, fashion dolls, there you have it. So make sure you guys are staying tuned. All right, question hour. Do you guys have any questions before we get to the turn the table segment? This is where my guests get to ask me questions, as many as they want, on fashion, life, goal, dream, vision, beauty, whatever they want
mhm.
to know or curious to know. It's for my new viewers. You'll get to know a little bit about me. It's because I'm new to some of you, and to some of you I'm not. But welcome if you're just coming in. Let me read this comment before we get to the turn the tables. I think you met Chelsea Lynn, aka Trailer Trash
Mhm.
Tammy, and did a mukbang with her before. Is that correct? And if so, how was that
I
experience?
have met her. I've gotten to do a couple of things that yeah, I've gotten to meet Chelsea once, and yes, we did like a little mukbang bang thing, but I was with a couple of her counterparts as well too. So Officer Daniels, he is a great guy. Me and him became really great friends.
I
But
see
yes, I've
that.
gotten to meet all of them. Yes, he's great. So getting to do stuff like that, yes, it's been a highlight of my career too. Getting to meet people like that. Yeah, Chelsea Lynn is a nut. She is crazy. I love her.
She is, and I when I seen it, because I put it in to see some of your other conversations, and I seen it, I'm like, okay, this is dope. I definitely can get with this. We're eating in moderation,
Yeah.
and I love food. So,
Yes.
and Misty says she's such a wild character.
Oh.
I love
Yeah.
Daniels.
Daniels is crazy. He's fun. He's a fun guy. Great friend of mine. Yep, I love him.
And my colleague Bub says I watch Trailer Tales every Friday. So tomorrow she'll be on. Make sure you guys head on over and sub to her channel, and sub to my colleague Bubs the God as well too. You definitely will be entertained. Yeah, I'm sure of it because I love you both. All right, fashion dolls. Moment of truth, deep breaths. It is time. I'm about to get put in the hot seat, and this is where my guests get to ask me questions in a segment I like to call Turn the Tables. So I'm going to pass it on to James here, and James is going to ask me some questions, as many as he wants. And for my new viewers that are just coming in, you get to know a little bit about me through his questionings. I am nervous. My heart is beating very fast. I don't know why, but take it away,
Well,
James.
first of all, yeah, I'd like to know how long you've been doing what you're doing here, as far as being like a podcaster or whatever. How long have you been doing that? Because I'll be honest, when you first reached out to me, I had never heard of you, I never seen your stuff, and that's no disrespect to you whatsoever. I just, our paths had never crossed. But when you did reach out to me, I was like excited. I mean, it's like, yeah, absolutely, I'll be on your show. I was honored that you had asked me to do that. So how long have you been doing this?
I started right after high school, 2016, y'all.
Oh, wow.
And I was still a baby, didn't know anything about hosting a platform. And it wasn't originally called Style by Stevie, it was Weekdays Topics. And we would do it at 11 a.m. on Facebook. And we would just talk about, celebrities, pop culture, music, things like that. But then I took a shift after I got out of high school. And I was sitting in my room brainstorming one day, and I said, okay, what is going to be the name? It's got to have a name. It can't just be Weekdays Topic. It's got to be something catchy. Style by Stevie. And the first thing, as you said, James, people don't really know about me. They haven't really heard a whole lot about me. So this was sort of me introducing myself to the world for not just fashion, because that's the first thing people
Sure,
associate the name with. They see Style by Stevie, they think either hair
sure,
or fashion. And
sure.
yes, you're getting that, but you're getting so much more. You're getting food, you're getting good conversation,
Hmm.
you're getting uh, amazing advice from my guests that you can take away that can help you in your life as well too. So I know everybody. Another question that people ask all the time is, why do you call everybody the fashion dolls? Well, Beyonce has the beehive. I have the fashion dolls. And when I'm dressing you, I dress you with love. You're welcome. You're coming into my home. This is me opening myself and being
Sure,
vulnerable and sharing it with you.
absolutely.
So that's what it's, you're not just getting dressed. Of course, you're going to look fly when you come in here. But but I want you to be dressed with knowledge. I want you to be dressed with love. I want you to feel an escape away from all of the craziness that is going on in the world. So that's why I call my supporters my fashion dolls. Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. And you're from South Carolina? Is that where
Yes,
you're
I'm a
originally from, or is
Southern
that?
girl,
Mhm.
born and raised in South Carolina. Now, what's so crazy is my dad is from New York. I have family in New York, and I also have family in North Carolina as well too,
Hmm.
and in Maryland. So yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, and so I guess I mean I don't have a lot of questions for you, but so what is your end goal? Where do you want to? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? What do you see yourself wanting to end up in doing?
I see myself. I love Drew Barrymore. I'm a big Drew Barrymore
Hmm.
fan. I see myself just like Drew Barrymore because she has. I want to do products. I want to do merchandise. I want to. She has makeup. She has home decor. She has cooking utensils. Ellen
Yeah,
DeGeneres did as well too, and that's where I see myself with my own merchandise in stores.
there you
And my
go.
product being able to be on the shelves in Sephora and Ulta and all of these big name stores. So yeah,
Nice.
that's what I see.
That's awesome. Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, that's pretty much all I have. I mean, that's a lot of information about you. I mean, it's great, and I'm hoping that eventually we can get back on together, and maybe in another year or so, or maybe even less, and just see where we're both at, and all that stuff. I'd love to do it again, and um, I hate to have to go, but I do. I got work to do, but I have to go. But I really appreciate this time, and I want to thank you personally for bringing on people on, because you're giving us a platform to let other people see and get to know us. So it really means a lot to me, and that's the reason that I accepted this right off the bat. Absolutely, because I appreciate people like you that take the time to give people like me a platform to meet other people, and so that they can get to know me and get to see my stuff and get to know who I am person. Because a lot of people, they want to judge people without getting to know them, and this is a good platform that is able to, they can hear from me, not from anybody else. They get to hear from me about the person that I am, and the kind of person and the actor that I want to be and portray and stuff like that. I don't want people to think that I'm just some idiot out here trying to. I do this for a living. I do this because I love it, and I do this to make people happy, not because of fame and fortune and all that stuff. I love this as a job because it just entertaining people is what I've always done, and so I appreciate you as an artist and as a fashion designer and whatever else that you are, and giving me this platform today, and I really do appreciate it from the bottom of my heart.
And
And if we ever get
it
to meet,
is.
I want to hug your neck because I really appreciate it. So seriously, yeah, thank you so much.
And I would love to have you back on. And you are so
Absolutely,
welcome. We definitely will.
absolutely,
Uh, the final thought I'm going to give, because of James, I can't keep him fashion dolls. The final thought of today comes from Thomas Edison. And he says, I have not failed. I have just found 10,000 ways that won't work. Find what works for you. And the whole mantra of this conversation today is to keep going, as James stated. Notice how I've kept the theme going throughout this week of my guest yesterday, Michael, everybody that I've had on. The key thing is to keep going and not to give up. It may seem like it's a dark cloud, a dark period for all of us right now, but do not give up. Keep going. Again, find other options. And to go back to, I think it was Misty or someone in the comments that said, I think it was either Misty or Sam. They were saying that you can't let the naysayers get in your way. I'm going to give you another quote from Rihanna. I love Rihanna as well too. Rihanna has a quote that goes like this: "Don't focus on the chaos, but stay focused on getting to the finish line."
that's
So
right.
stay focused and do not let the distractions get in your
You
way.
know what?
And that's something that I want.
The sun is shining today. Everybody needs to be their own sun.
Yes,
The sun's always going to come back out. You're right. There's always going to be clouds. There's always going to be darkness. But the sun is always going to rise, and it's going to be at the highest point every day at some point. So just be your own sun, and you come out and you shine, and that's all you have to do.
absolutely. Absolutely. And with that being said, Fashion Dolls, no show tomorrow, but Monday we have Anthony Riley joining me. The lineup for next week's shows will go up, and this makes interview 764. The road to 800 shows continues. So thank you all so much for your love and support. And James, let everyone know where they can follow you and check you out.
Absolutely. They can follow me on Instagram at Stokes.James, or you can look up James Stokes. I'm on TikTok. I'm on Facebook. Of course, Facebook limits your people as far as followers and stuff, but
Oh,
Instagram,
yeah.
please, everybody out there that can hear me right now, please go and follow me on my Instagram. I put everything about my movies and everything on Instagram. Everybody can follow my journey. I post some motivational stuff on there quite often and stuff like that. And I just want to keep everybody motivated and keep everybody pushing forward their dreams, because that's what I'm doing every day. You don't stop because you think that you made it. Because you're never going to make it. Just keep going. Just keep going. You make every day yours, and then that's how you make it. It's not about retrieving one big goal. Make every day a goal, and retrieve it. Because I know a lot of people out there that 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 are doing the exact same thing that I'm doing right now. And I want to motivate them to keep doing that. So, but you can follow me on anything, imdb.com. You can see everything that I've got going. But yeah, so just go out there and follow me on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, everything. So I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
You are
Thank you so much.
so
I
welcome.
really loved it. Love this interview. So, and we'll see you guys next time. Okay.
Yes, and I'm going to circle back around because I love to have you back on in the fall, and I
Absolutely.
forward that.
Anytime. Thank you.
You are so welcome. And Fashion Dolls, head on over, subscribe to Style by Stevie Daytime, subscribe to my colleague Bubs the God. A very special thanks to him, who's been my major support system. My brother K Tukes, Pure Luck Salon, Sammy the Hair Slayer, such a great Q&A. Thank you. Thank you so much. And she says that she's proud of you always, James. I love you all, Fashion Dolls. And y'all have an amazing Thursday. Again, as James said, be the sunshine in your life and in someone else's. Encourage each
That's what
other and love one another. I love you all. Be fabulous. And most importantly, be styled by Stevie. Take care,
I
everybody.
guess.